With his army cheering him on, Arnold Palmer, playing spectacular golf, takes Augusta by storm to capture the 1964 Masters. Tele Sports is presented by the United States Army, the big team that helps you build your own future while you serve your country. Join the new Action Army now.
It's time for Tele Sports. Hi, I'm Chris Schenkel. And each week it's my pleasure to join Jim Leeming to bring you the outstanding current events in the world of sport. Human interest stories, major events, unusual happenings, and searching interviews are vital parts of the all-inclusive coverage of professional and amateur athletics, as seen on Tele Sports.
The 1964 American League pennant race shapes up as another runaway for the New York Yankees and new manager Yogi Berra. Spearheading the awesome Yankee batting power will be Mickey Mantle. The Bombers' great center fielder was plagued with injuries most of the 1963 season, but still managed to hit .314. The second half of the Yankees' damaging duo is Roger Maris. Due to injuries, Maris slumped off last season after his record-setting performance in 1962, but he's healthy now and raring to go. Pivot man, the Yankee million-dollar infield, the second baseman, Bobby Richardson, who sparks the Bombers in the field and at bat. Elston Howard was the unanimous pick as the American League's most valuable player in 1963. Ellie batted .287, clouded 28 homers, and 85 RBIs. To see how Yogi Berra feels about the Yankees in '64, let's go to Bob Halloran as he talks with the new Bomber pilot.
You've been saying all along, Yogi, that the Yankees are going to finish in first place. Do you still feel that way?
Oh, I think so. I think they got to catch us.
Yogi, you seem, as I recall, I don't think you've been waved out of any games by any umpires. Is this going to be a trait for Yogi Berra, that you're going to get along with all the umps?
I think there's been about 2 or 3 plays I would have been out on the field during the regular season, but I'll just let it ride right now. But during the season, it'll be a little different.
You're going to get a little tougher, huh?
Well, I don't know about a little tougher, but I mean, you always put your 2 cents for it.
We asked an old friend of yours, Casey Stengel, a few days ago about Yogi, and he says, well, once he gets straight on how he makes out the lineup, he's going to do all right.
Well, I just, a lot of people ask me how does it feel if you would play the Mets. I feel great if they could win the pennant over there. I don't care who we play in the National League. I'm worried about the American League. Let's win the American League and let the National League take care of itself.
Over in the National League, the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers are favorites to repeat. So to find out about how Dodger progress is going, let's listen to manager Walter Alston.
How do you feel your club has progressed through the spring training?
Bob, we've had a good spring. Everybody's worked hard. And I think we got a good start because a lot of our boys worked out in L.A. before they came down here. In fact, we had live hitting the first day, and that means a lot. And we've had good weather here, and everybody has worked real good. We've got a few injuries, but other than that, we're all right.
Would you say that the club is as well along as it was this time last spring, or perhaps a little further?
I think that possibly our pitching is a little farther along, especially the second line pitching, where I'm talking about my 4th, 5th, maybe 6th starter, if you want to call them that. The Mollers, Ortegas, Rickard, Wellhite, and those boys are probably a little farther along than they were last year at this time. I don't know whether it's the year experience that they had last year or whether they just worked a little harder this spring.
Well, could you tell us about some of the new boys or new faces we might be seeing in the Dodger lineup this year?
Bob, I suppose you've heard about the young Parker boy. Ordinarily, I don't get too optimistic about a kid in spring training, but I tried to hold it down on this kid for as long as I could, but he did it just long enough that now I begin to sit up and take notice of him, and everything that he does is he's done well. He runs good, and he's a good defensive man. He plays first base in the outfield, and of course my question was how much is he going to hit, but he's been hitting. Here's a young boy that is anxious to learn and does everything very well, and I'm interested in the boy.
I think everybody's anxious to know how this big boy, Frank Howard, is coming along. He hasn't been out too much.
Well, Frank was late reporting, as you know, and he's got a little weight problem, not much. I think he's about 10 pounds overweight, but you can't tell it by looking at him. He's worked very hard since he's been here. We get him extra hitting and extra running, and I plan to play him right on through now until we open the season and hope that he's ready to go.
The Dodgers look strong, but in the words of Jim Brosnan, it's a long season.
The 1964 World's Fair and the spanking new home of the New York Mets share equal billing as the two most impressive places to visit in the metropolitan area. Located next door to one another, the fair people conclude that if a visitor spends full time at this beautiful extravaganza, it would take more than a month to tour the entire grounds. Hoping to provide more than comedy relief for the fair are those amazing New York Mets as they open their season in beautiful Shea Stadium. More than 50,000 fans passed through the turnstiles to witness the opening day ceremonies and how the Mets will fare in their modern ballpark. It's a team that promises to bring much excitement to the New York faithful who once supported the old New York Giants and Brooklyn Dodgers. A unique $1 million scoreboard not only gives scores and messages, but can show motion pictures as well. While fans at home are tuned to Rain Out Theater, folks at the park can be watching the Casey Stengel story in living color. Old Case couldn't be more thrilled over his team's $25 million playpen and the huge floral horseshoe given him at the Mets coming out party. Bill Shea, for whom the stadium was named, tosses out the first ball as those daffy and delightful Mets hope for more success here than they had in the old Polo Grounds. Jack Fisher, an ex-Giant, is on the mound for the Mets with Willie Stargell batting for the Pirates in the second. Willie wallops a 350-foot home run into the right field seats for the first hit in Shea Stadium. Stargell also smacked a double and two singles for a very profitable day at the Mets' expense. Bob Friend is the Pirate pitcher. He surrenders the first Mets hit to Tim Harkness in the third, but Ron Hunt comes through with the fourth inning double for the Mets' initial extra base blow. However, New York is still looking for run number one. Jesse Gonder greets Friend with a single in the fourth to drive in Hunt with the Mets' first run. Pirate catcher Jim Pagliarone doesn't care for umpire Tom Gorman's decision, and the overflow crowd enjoys its first rhubarb of the season. It's a new ballpark, a new season, and plenty of new faces, but the script remains unchanged as those fabulous Mets lose a 4-3 decision to the Pirates at Shea Stadium. Now it's on to the World's Fair, where the theme Peace Through Understanding gives the Mets fans something to think about. On the West Coast, the world champion Dodgers in their multi-million-dollar Dodger Stadium are playing a twilight game with the Cincinnati Reds. Los Angeles hopes to duplicate its 1963 success, which led to a pennant and a devastating 4-game sweep in the World Series. Sandy Koufax, the most publicized pitcher on the big league scene, is on the mound for Los Angeles. He promptly strikes out Leo Cardenas as the Dodgers' premier left-hander pursues his second win of the season. Johnny Edwards follows by Fanning, as does opposing pitcher Jim Maloney. Koufax is shooting for his 10th straight victory. Jim Maloney, who won 23 games last year, is giving the Dodgers plenty of trouble. Maury Wills pops out in the third. Junior Gilliam doesn't find things any easier as he grounds out to Pete Rose, the National League's Rookie of the Year in 1963. Maloney uncorks a blazing fastball to Willie Davis, who doesn't quite get around on it, and he flies to Vada Pinson in left center. After 3 complete, Koufax and Maloney are locked in a 0-0 pitcher's duel. For Sandy Koufax, it's a frightful fourth as Pete Rose walks. Chico Ruiz follows with a single to right. Rose is going to try and make it from first to third on the hit, but he's cut down on a fine throw from Frank Howard, the rookie third baseman John Werheis. Sandy can't keep his fastball down. They'll throw it by Darren Johnson, who smashes a drive into the lower left field seats. Ruiz and Frank Robinson score ahead of Johnson, giving the Reds 3 big runs, which turn out to be more than enough the way Maloney is pitching for Cincinnati. Unfortunately, the Reds fireballer is forced out of the game after 6 complete innings due to a muscle pull. Right-hander John Saturis almost matches Maloney's hitless performance, but Dodger slugger Frank Howard gets the first and last Los Angeles hit in the bottom of the ninth. Jim Maloney and John Saturis silence the Dodger bats with one hit while the Reds drive across 3 runs and beat stylish Sandy Koufax 3-0 in one of the National League's early season surprises.
The New York Yankees are annual pennant winners in the American League, and right now, under their new manager, Yogi Berra, the Bronx Bombers are visiting some of the second division teams. The Yankees, although off to a slow start, are still considered the class of the junior circuit. Former Yankee Hank Bauer is the new Baltimore Oriole manager, and this fiery competitor has his team battling for the American League lead. In one of the big off-season trades, Baltimore acquired Norm Seaborn to replace Jim Gentile at first base. It seems to have paid off for the Orioles. The Yankees are looking for their first win of the season at Yankee Stadium as manager Berra uses Jim Bouton, a 21-game winner last year, while the Orioles counter with Milt Pappas. Mickey Mantle lays down a beautiful drag bunt in the Yankee half of the second. This injury-prone star looks to be in fine shape so far, but under those Yankee pinstripes is enough tape to cover both teams. Switch-hitting Tom Tresh picks out a Pappas offering and really powders it. It's bye-bye, baby, and 2 quick runs for New York. Pappas usually has a difficult time pitching against the Yankees, but most pitchers do. For Tom Tresh, it's his first home run of the season, a 370-foot shot into the right field bleachers. Pappas finally retires the side, but Bobby Richardson doubles in the home half of the third to spark another Yankee rally. The Oriole right-hander can't get by the meat of the Yankee lineup. Roger Maris sends a towering fly ball deep to right center that bounces off the scoreboard, and Richardson scores easily. Maris winds up at second with a double, but Mantle strikes out to end the explosive third inning. The score remains 3-0 until the home half of the sixth, when Roger Maris crosses up the Oriole defense. His drag bunt up the first baseline to lead off the inning is unexpected, and the new Roger Maris suddenly gives Baltimore, as well as the rest of the league, something to think about. Mickey Mantle skies out to Jackie Brann in right center field. Again, Roger Maris crosses up the Orioles. This time he tags up from first base and moves over to second. His heads-up play gives the Yankees another runner in scoring position. Milt Pappas is on the brink of disaster as Tom Tresh proves to be the Yankees' big RBI man in this game. Tom scores Maris with his second hit of the game and third run batted in. The Yankees are in the driver's seat, leading 4-0. Elston Howard, the Yankees' fine catcher and league's most valuable player of 1963, hits one on the ground that's turned into an inning-ending double play, but New York and Jim Bouton have a 4-run cushion as Baltimore bats in the 7th. Norm Seaborn is first up in the inning as Jim Bouton gets ready to pitch. Bouton has allowed only 1 hit so far, but forget it. Seaborn sends a fly ball down the right field line that falls into the seats for a home run, giving Baltimore its only score of the game. Norm Seaborn, who plays both the outfield or first base, looks as if he'll be a big help to the Orioles with his consistent hitting and steady glove. New York caps a 4-1 decision over Baltimore as Steve Hamilton relieves Bouton, who falters in the 9th. The Yankees win their first game at Yankee Stadium in 1964 and begin their push onward and upward in the American League standings. Power-laden San Francisco Giants make their initial appearance at Dodger Stadium against the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers before the largest crowd of the early season, 52,773. The Dodgers, off to a slow start in 1964, are beginning to play like pennant contenders as number 12, Tommy Davis, number 3, Willie Davis, and number 25, Frank Howard, provide the offensive fireworks. Of course, the Dodgers depend upon their great pitching staff to lead the way. Giants manager Al Dark has a team that scores a lot of runs, and newly acquired Duke Snyder will be called on to add to that awesome power-pack lineup. Willie Mays is off to his finest season, but how can you improve on perfection? The Giants super center fielder has 10 home runs in 16 games. He's the greatest. Giants ace right-hander Jack Sanford is on the mound as we pick up the Dodgers batting in the first inning. It's the job of switch-hitting Maury Wills to get on base, so the Dodgers leadoff man shows why he's one of the best in the business. Willie Davis bats second. His ability to hit behind the runners or bunt poses a problem to the Giants' defense. He's so fast that this sacrifice goes for a base hit. Willie McCovey throws wildly past first base, so Maury Wills tries to hot-foot it all the way home. He's called out on a bang-bang play at the plate. Willie Davis winds up in scoring position as Sanford fires to Tommy Davis, last year's batting champ in the National League. Tom Davis grounds out, however. Willie Davis scores on the play. Frank Howard supplies the Dodgers power, but not this time. The 6'7" slugger grounds out to Jose Pagan, who makes a nice pickup and throws him out at first. The Dodgers lead 1-0. With the Dodgers batting in the second, Al Dark brings injured Willie Mays in to play first base. Mays looks like a veteran anywhere on the ball field. After Fairley bounces out, John Roseborough singles to center, where Jesus Alou is now stationed. Jack Sanford places himself in a precarious position when he throws wildly past first baseman Mays in an attempted pickoff. Roseborough chugs all the way over to third base as the Dodgers try to take advantage of every break. Rookie John Warehouse, up from Spokane, fails to get the ball out of the infield, and Roseborough must hold his position at third. Looks as if Sanford might get out of the inning without being scored upon, but Dick Krasuski spoils that notion with a double that falls between Alou and Snyder. Roseborough scores, and the Dodgers have a 2-run advantage. Giants, who have been stymied by Don Drysdale, finally come to life in the fourth. Don Drysdale serves one up that Willie Mays can't resist. Willie wallops a tremendous drive that sails over 390 feet into the center field bleachers. Well, the flashy Giant, who aggravated a leg injury back in the second inning, is just what the doctor ordered. This was the 8th homer for Mays in 12 games. A few days later, he picked up 2 more to make it 10 round trippers after 16 games. Drysdale finds Willie McCovey to be an old nemesis. McCovey always hits well against the fireballing right-hander and reaches Don for a double in the Giants' half of the 6th. Duke Snyder, Drysdale's close buddy dating back to their Brooklyn days, strikes out to end the inning. Duke of Flatbush so far isn't finding fame and fortune in San Francisco. Jack Sanford is on the mound with the Dodgers batting in their half of the 6th, still leading 2-1. Willie Davis drops a base hit in front of Snyder as the Dodgers look for more runs. Willie Davis studies Sanford's every move, and then, when he thinks he's got the jump, Davis breaks for second and steals it. How those Dodgers love to run. Sanford then commits a balk, and Davis advances to third. With Willie Davis anxious to score, Tommy Davis chops a nubber down to third baseman Jim Hart, who can't field the ball. The Dodgers, however, come up with 3 runs in the 6th, then 2 more in the 7th to win 7-1. But Drysdale doesn't prevent San Francisco from bouncing back and taking the next 2 games.
The Philadelphia Phillies are off to their fastest start in nearly 2 decades and are highly touted as National League pennant contenders. The Cincinnati Reds furnish the opposition as the second-place Phils attempt to extend their winning streak to 4 games and gain ground on the first-place San Francisco Giants. One good reason for the fast Philly getaway has been the tremendous play of third baseman Richie Allen. Although he's only a rookie, Allen is the talk of the league with a batting average well over 300 and 6 home runs. It's 0-0 as Cincinnati's Bob Fergie delivers in the second inning. Tony Gonzalez slices the ball to left field, and before Tommy Harper can track it down, Tony trots into second with a double. Wes Covington moves in to face Perky. Wes sends a high fly to right field that Frank Robinson puts away. Gonzalez tags and races to third as the Phillies bid to get on the scoreboard. One out and Gonzalez on third. Perky is working very carefully. The red right-hander cuts it too fine, and his knuckler gets by catcher John Edwards. Gonzalez gallops home to give Philadelphia a 1-0 lead. Jim Bunning, who has won 3 and lost 1 for the Phillies, faces the Reds in the third. Leo Cardenas tags the former Detroit Tiger twirler for a single to left. Bunning retires Perky, but Pete Rose bloops a hit to left. The ball takes a bad bounce and rolls toward the bullpen. Cardenas stops at third, and Rose halts at second. Chico Ruiz continues the Cincy blooper barrage. The ball falls between Tony Taylor and Johnny Callison for a single, and Cardenas comes home with the equalizer. Gordy Coleman connects with a bunting sinker ball and drills it off the wall in right field. Rose and Ruiz both score, and Coleman slides safely into third with a triple. Bunting serves up a fat pitch to Frank Robinson, and Frank really tags it. Tony Gonzalez gives chase and finally catches the ball 425 feet from the plate to retire the side. The Reds add another run to lead 4-1 as Perky pitches in the fifth. Clay Dalrymple lines a single to right. Perky forces Bobby Wine to hit into a fast short second to first double play. Perky isn't so lucky with the next man. John Briggs, batting for Bunting, bounces to second, but Pete Rose lets the ball go through his legs for an error. Taylor steps in to face Perky, and Tony tags the Cincinnati right-hander for a single to center. The Bills have runners at the corners. Once again, the flutter ball costs Perky a run as his knuckler gets away from Edwards. Briggs slides across the plate as Philadelphia cuts the Cincinnati lead to 4-2. Perky goes to work in the seventh to protect his 2-run advantage. Bobby Wine grounds to third, where Chico Ruiz makes a great stop and throws Wine out. There are 2 out as Tony Taylor works Perky for a base on balls. Perky holds the speedy Taylor close at first. Richie Allen drills a single to left, and Taylor moves to second. Johnny Callison, who recently came out of a dreadful hitting slump, bounces a hit into center to score Taylor. Allen scampers to third, and Callison takes second on a heads-up play. Manager Fred Hutchinson summons assistance from the bullpen to help halt the fighting Phil. Southpaw Bill Henry, the ace of the Red Relief Corps, gets the call. With a 2-2 count, Tony Gonzalez hits a soft liner to center that Veda Pinson traps. Allen and Callison both score to give Philadelphia a 5-4 lead after 7 innings. Ed Roebuck's on the hill for Philadelphia in the ninth. Bob Skinner touches the sinker ball specialist for a double as the Reds threaten. '63 Rookie of the Year Pete Rose flies out to John Herrnstein, and the ball game's over. Philadelphia paced together its second 4-game winning streak of the season with a come-from-behind 5-4 victory over the Cincinnati Reds. The first-place Chicago White Sox, whose early season heroics are stealing the thunder from the perennial pennant-winning New York Yankees, stop in Washington to challenge the Senators. The hometown Senators, earmarked for the cellar in most preseason polls, are also raising eyebrows with their record close to the .500 mark. Al Lopez, the last manager to win an American League pennant outside of New York, has a solid Chicago team. On defense, Lopez counts on lanky shortstop Ron Hansen to keep his White Sox together. Chicago's most consistent stickman is outfielder Floyd Robinson. With a steady 300 average, Robinson specializes in spray hitting and leads the power department to young Dave Nicholson, who already has a tape measure home run of 573 feet to his credit this season. The Senators have young Chuck Hinton gone for them. Chuck is hitting well above 300, and he's the biggest reason Washington is playing close to 500 ball. We pick up the action in the home half of the fourth inning. Ray Herbert's on the mound for the White Sox, facing the ex-Los Angeles Dodger Moose Skowron. Moose, a hero in last season's World Series, begins the inning by grounding out short to first. Herbert is stringing together nothing but goose eggs, but Big Don Locke cracks the ice with a mighty wallop to left. The ball is out of the park for a home run. Gil Hodges' Washington Senators, who many consider a strictly last-place team, get the jump on the league-leading White Sox by a 1-0 count. In the Washington fifth, the Senators start teeing off on Herbert. Chuck Hinton lays in the one that sends Floyd Robinson back to the right field screen. Jimmy King passes one to Tommy McCraw. McCraw can't hold on to the ball, and King easily beats the throw to first for a single. Mighty Moose takes his place in the box, and Skowron hits another over the middle. Herbert and the White Sox are in trouble as the Senators have two men on base. The rally's choked on a fly to right, and after 5, it's Washington by a 1-0 score. The Senators are back on the attack in their half of the sixth. John Kennedy touches reliever Eddie Fisher for a safety to left. Pitcher Benny Daniels adds to his own cause in a big way with a smash over the right field screen. The White Sox came into Washington expecting to feast on Senator pitching, but it's the hometowners who are doing the celebrating as Washington takes a 3-0 lead after 6. For 7 innings, Benny Daniels has had the whammy on the White Sox, but in the 8th, veteran Minnie Minosa starts the Chicago Express rolling with a single down the middle. Daniels checks Minosa before serving to Mike Hirschberger. Mike Bloop won the short center, and there's going to be a play at third base. Minosa's cut down on a beautiful throw, and the aging veteran doesn't like the call at all. The White Sox aren't finished yet, and McCraw's Baltimore chopper is hard to handle. Kennedy's throw to first is a bad one, and Hirschberger moves to third on the earth. Chicago has runners at the corners with 2 outs. The Chi Sox break their scoring famine as Floyd Robinson's grounder handcuffs Don Blasingame. Hirschberger scores on the error, and McCraw travels all the way to third. But Chicago's rally falls short, and the White Sox take it on the chin from Benny Daniels and the Washington Senators by a 3-1 score. Despite this loss, the Chicago White Sox may be the team to give the Yankees their stiffest challenge in years. Gene Mock's fighting Phillies invade Chavez Ravine for the first series this season with the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. The Phillies are on top of the pack while L.A. is struggling to crash the first division. Rookie Richie Allen has been living up to preseason press notices which label him an up-and-coming superstar. It's generally agreed without him the Phillies wouldn't be where they are today. Johnny Callison is one of the few players Gene Mock uses against both right-handed and left-handed pitchers. In the clutch, Johnny is as tough as they come. On defense, Bobby Wine is one of the most spectacular shortstops in the major leagues. But you can't score without runs, and Wes Covington is another long ball blaster. When healthy, right-handed hitter Roy Sievers rounds out a potent attack. Meanwhile, Johnny Hernstein has been doing a great job filling in for Roy, who has been injured. Fireballing Chris Short has been selected to pitch this game of the week against last year's world champion. Maury Wills singles for the Dodgers in the home half of the first. But Chris Short erases this threat in a hurry as he forces Jim Gilliam to hit into a quick inning-ending double play. The Phils boast a fantastic infield combination. Don Drysdale's on the hill for the Dodgers as we move to the Phillies half of the second. That's Wes Covington banging the ball to right for a base hit. Wes chews up right-handed pitching like bread and butter. Versatile Johnny Hernstein follows with a base hit, and Covington chugs into third. Hernstein is developing into one of Gene Mauch's most reliables, and he can play either first or the outfield. Don Drysdale is tough. He forces play downriver. They hit one on the ground to Maury Wills, who turns it into a double play, and there's still no score after 2 innings. The Phillies get something going in the 6th. Richie Allen smashes the ball to Maury Wills. The Dodgers shortstop can't find the handle, and Allen, with his great speed, is safely on at first. Don Drysdale has his work cut out. Johnny Callison doesn't make the chore any easier. His single to center sends speedy Richie Allen over to third base. On the play at third, Callison advances to second, setting the stage for walloping Wes Covington. Drysdale pitches carefully to West, but Covington lays into the ball and hits it deep to Frank Howard. Allen tags up and scores on the sacrifice fly. It's still a tight pitcher's battle as Chris Short tries to protect his 1-run lead going into the Dodger half of the 8th. Tom Davis connects, but Gene Mauch sent John Hernstein out to play left field at the start of the inning, and John turns in a sensational catch. Even Dodger fans show their appreciation for that play. Frank Howard unleashes his mighty swing, but the Phillies are playing inspired baseball. Bobby Wine throws over to Ruben Amara, who's now playing first base, and the Phillies still lead 1-0 going into the 9th. Dodger ace reliever Ron Peranowski, who replaced Drysdale on the mound in the 8th, doesn't find much success pitching to Johnny Callison. The Phillies star outfielder bangs out his 4th straight hit to open the inning. After Ruben Amara sacrifices Callison over to second, Johnny Hernstein comes through with his 2nd hit of the game. Johnny Callison scores, and that's all the Phillies need. Chris Short goes on to post a masterful 2-0 shutout over the Dodgers. It's Short's 5th straight conquest of the Dodgers since July 4th, 1962, and the way the Phillies are playing, 1964 could be their year. Beautiful and spacious, Chavez Ravine is not only the home of the world champion Dodgers, but the pro tem park of the Los Angeles Angels as well. Both teams are having their troubles this year. Bill Rigney's Angels in last place take on the pennant contending Baltimore Orioles, who are right on the heels of the league-leading Chicago White Sox. Bob Johnson, the versatile Oriole infielder, reaches Bo Belinsky for a hit in the 2nd inning. Johnson's the first baseman when Norm Seaborn isn't playing. Belinsky's been pitching good ball for the Angels this year, but has been running into tough luck. Gino Cimoli advances Johnson to second on this checked swing. Johnson's in scoring position, and Jerry Adair moves him to third base on this infield out. Dick Brown comes through in the clutch. The Oriole catcher loops a Texas Leaguer into center field where rookie Bob Purry just misses a shoestring catch. Bob Johnson scores easily, and the Orioles have the game's first run. Steve Barber, a 20-game winner last year, is on the mound for the Orioles as the Angels bat in the 2nd. Joe Adcock leads off with a double. The big first baseman has been playing great ball since being traded to Los Angeles from Cleveland. Before that, Adcock enjoyed 10 fine years with the Milwaukee Braves. Felix Foray's a third-year man for the Angels, is off to a fine start. His ground ball advances Adcock to third. Bob Rogers bids to bring Adcock home with a looper to left. Luis Aparicio, with his back to the plate, shows why he's the premier shortstop in the American League. Steve Barber's unable to stop the Angels from scoring. With 2 outs, Lee Thomas slices a ball to left field for a single, and Adcock scores easily. After 2 innings, it's a tie game, 1-1. Bobulinski runs into trouble in the third frame as the Orioles keep pecking away. Bob Savarine leads off with a single to center. Bobulinski pitched a no-hitter against this club 2 years ago. Since then, Bo's had his troubles. Aparicio also singles. The Orioles have runners on first and second with no outs. The stylish Angel left-hander forces rookie Sam Bowens to pound the ball into the dirt, enabling third baseman Felix Foray's to put the tag on Bob Savarine, while Aparicio advances to second. After Bobulinski balks, allowing Aparicio to move up a base, and Brooks Robinson is purposely passed, Bob Johnson hits into a force out, but Aparicio scores. The Orioles take advantage of every opportunity. Leading 2-1 in the ninth, the Orioles call on relief ace Stu Miller to nail down the win for Barber. Bob Purry wants to make that task as tough as possible. He singles with 1 out. Miller, who achieved fame in 1961 and 62 as a giant bullpen hero, is roughed up by Joe Adcock. It's Adcock's second hit of the game and puts the tying run in scoring position with only 1 out. Stu Miller refuses to become unglued. He calmly throws a double play ball to Felix Foray's, and that's the old ball game. Miller saves the day for Steve Barber, who wins his first game of the season. The Orioles continue to receive great pitching and timely hitting as they beat the Angels 2-1 to keep pace with the American League leaders, the Chicago White Sox. Spectacular Shea Stadium, the spanky new $25 million home of the New York Mets, is filled to near capacity as the amazing Mets, who lead the majors in attendance, tangle with the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers have won 35 of 39 games with the Mets since the New Yorkers entered the league 2 years ago. In his 55th season of professional baseball, Casey Stengel's the guiding light behind the Mets. The Stengel men have finished in the cellar for 2 straight years, but old Case and company are the most loyal fans in the country, including TV star Jimmy Dean on the right. Top hitter in the Mets camp is Ron Hunt. The 23-year-old second baseman is clubbing around the .320 mark and is second in runs batted in. On the Dodgers side, Maury Wills is the top stickman. The Dodgers are off to one of their worst starts in recent years, but Wills has been outstanding. Tommy Davis, 2-time National League batting champion, has been having his troubles at the plate in 1964, but could explode at any time. Fleet-footed Willie Davis is also off to a bad start, a contributing factor to the Dodgers being in 8th place. The big crowd is treated to some rare fireworks by the Mets in the third. Dodger pitcher Joe Moeller is touched for a single by George Altman to open the frame. After an infield error puts runners at the corners, Roy McMillan strokes a high fly to right. After the catch, Altman scores from third. Moeller holds rival hurler Galen Cisco close at first. Ron Hunt hammers a mighty blow off the wall in right center that sends Cisco scurrying for home. Galen demonstrates a new way to slide as he gets across for the score. An infield hit puts Mets at the corners again as Ed Kranepool steps to the plate. The big first baseman sends a Moeller fastball sailing out of the park for a home run. It's Kranepool's first circuit cloud of the campaign as the Mets stun the Dodgers. The Mets aren't through yet. Jolly Smith brings the curtain down on Moeller as the New York third baseman drives the ball into the stands in left field. Smith circles the bases on his 4th home run of the year as the Mets take an unbelievable 7-0 lead over the Dodgers. As his picture is projected on the Giants scoreboard, Jim Hickman steps in to face rookie Jim Brewer. Hickman wraps the ball between short and third for a single as the Mets threaten the game. Hickman is sacrificed to second, and Roy McMillan brings him home with a slicer to right. New York moves ahead 8-0 after 4 innings. Big Frank Howard walks to open the Dodger 5th. Galen Cisco hasn't finished in 21 starts, then gets John Roseborough to hit into a fast short to first double play. It's the 55th twin killing of the year for the Mets, tops in the majors. Cisco holds the Dodgers at bay the rest of the way to register his 3rd win of the year. Cisco's teammates congratulate the former Big Ten football star on a sparkling 4-hit, 8-0 shutout. Truly, these Mets are amazing. San Francisco Giants have a chance to regain the lead in the topsy-turvy National League pennant parade by downing the Milwaukee Braves in wind-blown Candlestick Park. The incomparable Willie Mays continues to face the giant assault on enemy pitching. Willie's home run and RBI totals are both league highs. Former American League batting king Harvey Keene is just about due to break out of a prolonged hitting slump. Henry Aaron's booming bat is one mighty good reason why Milwaukee finds itself in the thick of the pennant scrap. The Braves send former Giant Philippe Alou to bat against right-hander Bob Bowen in the 1st inning. Alou grounds into a surefire out, but Jim Davenport's low peg gets by first base. Philippe scampers all the way to second on the miscue. Bowen, somewhat rattled, pitches wildly to Hank Aaron, permitting Alou to move up a notch. Bowen adds to his misery by walking Aaron. The Braves have runners at the corners with only 1 away. Big right-hander forces Lee May to hit into the dirt, and it appears that the Giants are off the hook. But Mays beats the relay to first, allowing Alou to score from third. The Braves jump off to a 1-0 lead. The score is unchanged as we move to the Milwaukee 4th. Lee May touches Bob Bowen for a ringing double to left. After fanning Joe Torre, Bowen faces the dangerous veteran Ed Matthews. Matthews crunches a fastball and sends it on a high arc over the right field fence for his 5th home run of the season. No Giant Braves game would be complete without somebody exploding for a circuit cloud. Both sides are loaded with long ball hitters. May dents the plate ahead of Matthews as Milwaukee climbs to a 3-0 advantage. In the San Francisco 5th, Braves starter Denny LeMaster loses his shutout when Harvey Keene bombs one of his southpaw slants over the left field fence. Keene, more renowned as a single hitter, picks an opportune time to wrap out his 2nd homer of the season. Bob Bowen, who got home with a walk, scores ahead of Keene to slice the Milwaukee lead to 3-2. With more trouble in store for LeMaster in the Giants' 6th, pinch hitter Cap Peterson gets on with a fluke single off Dennis Menke's glove. Harvey Keene follows with a wicket liner over third that Ed Matthews just manages to stop. The Giants have 2 on with Chuck Hiller coming to the plate. Nobody out. Hiller lays down a beautiful sacrifice bunt. Chuck beats it out to load the bases. The right-handed swinging Willie Mays, standing in, Milwaukee manager Bobby Bragan lifts LeMaster in favor of right-hander Jack Smith. Smith does bang-up job of getting rid of the Giant captain by forcing him to hit into a double play. However, Peterson comes in to tally the tying run. Smith, picked up by the Braves from the Dodgers, pumps 3 fast strikes past Orlando Cepeda to end the Giant uprising. After 7 full, it's 3-3. Gaylord Perry's on the mound for the Giants in the 8th as Dennis Menke makes his bid for a homer. Harvey Keene says no with a spectacular leaping catch at the fence. next hitter is Hammer and Henry Aaron. Aaron promptly loops a single into left off Perry, who hasn't allowed a run in 23 innings of relief work. Lee May tags a liner through the hole, and Aaron stops at second. With only one away, the Braves' leading swatter, Joe Torre, digs in. Torre, a murderous clutch hitter, drops a single in the left, and Aaron comes in to score. It's the margin of victory for the Braves, who check the Giants the rest of the way to win 4-3. San Francisco misses a golden opportunity to move into first place as it drops a second straight decision to the rampaging Milwaukee Braves. From 1958 through 1961, the Philadelphia Phillies finished dead last in the National League pennant race. They moved up a peg in 1962, and last year the Phils wound up fourth. Now Gene Mauch's men find themselves taking dead aim on their first pennant since the Whiz Kid days of 1950. Roy Sievers is the first baseman when he's in good health, and the opposition throws a left-hander. When Sievers is not in the lineup, Johnny Hernstein spells him. Hernstein's bat has been smoking lately. Johnny's a good glove man, whether he's at first base or in the outfield. The Phillies have tremendous depth. Tony Taylor is the pesky leadoff man for the Phillies. He's a smart hitter and plays second base as well as almost anyone in the league. Taylor's bat hasn't really started to rumble yet, but when it does, watch out. The double play combination of the Phillies is a pitcher's blessing, as Bobby Wine and Tony Taylor form a better combination than bread and butter. There isn't a play that Wine can't make at shortstop, but his hitting needs to be improved if the Phillies are to maintain a well-balanced attack. Bobby compensates for his weak bat by turning what looks like sure hits into easy outs. Gene Mauch always seems to make the right move at the right time. He used Cookie Rojas when it was necessary to get added punch into the lineup. Rojas, who plays either the infield or the outfield, is hitting well above 300. Rookie Richie Allen practically carried the team in the early months of the season with tremendous hitting. He's batting close to 300 now, but strikes out frequently. Allen has done a good job for Gene Mauch in his first year playing at third base. The Phillies can platoon their outfield better than any team in baseball. Wes Covington plays strictly against right-handed pitching, and he's usually up there with men on base or in a pinch-hitting role. Covington is hitting slightly below his .286 lifetime batting average, but he comes up with that long ball when the Phillies need it most. Tony Gonzalez is another port-side swinger in Gene Mauch's lineup. Phillies' fine center fielder has yet to start banging the ball with that Gonzalez gusto, but he's a .300 hitter, and Mauch has plenty of confidence in him. Johnny Callison's the right fielder and the best hitter in the Philly lineup. He's been named to the 1964 All-Star team, and with good reason. He hits consistently and is superb in the outfield with a rifle-like arm. Clay Dalrymple handles most of the catching chores, but newcomer Gus Triandos helps in this department. Dalrymple doesn't hit for high average, but his long ball clouts seem to always come when the Ducks are on the pond. Clay has one of the strongest throwing arms in the National League and gives his pitchers valuable support behind the plate. Speaking of pitching, this is Philadelphia's strong suit. Ray Culp recently threw a one-hit shutout against the Cubs. It came 2 days after Jim Bunning's perfect game. Bunning heads a staff that includes Culp, Short, Mahaffey, Bennett, Volshin, and Roebuck. They could be good enough to bring a pennant winner to Philadelphia.
Beautiful Shea Stadium in New York draws more than 50,000 for the 35th Major League All-Star Game. The American League leads in the series 17-16. There was one tie in 1961. Managers Al Lopez of the White Sox and Walter Alston of the Dodgers have an abundance of slugging talent for this classic, most of it hitting from the right-handed side of the plate. Switch-hitting Mickey Mantle is off to another fine season with the Yankees, and he'll be counted on to connect with some of that right-handed National League pitching. Brooks Robinson of the Orioles is the third baseman, and one of the prime reasons Baltimore is on top in the American League standings. For the National League, Jim Bunning returns to Shea Stadium, scene of his perfect game against the Mets in June. Sandy Koufax and Willie Mays have no complaints about being on the same side of the diamond for this affair, but Sandy might not play because he pitched just 2 days earlier. Met fans are out in full force to root for their hero, Ron Hunt, and the rest of the National Leaguers. But it's the American League scoring first as big Harmon Killebrew slashes a single off his starter Don Drysdale, and the Angels' Jim Fregosi rides home with the first run of the game. After starter Dean Chance throws 3 scoreless innings, Kansas City pitcher John Wyatt gives up the first National League run. Billy Williams of the Chicago Cubs and one of the league's leading hitters belts one over the 371-foot sign for a home run, and it's a new game at 1-all. Ken Boyer of the Cardinals comes up with 2 men gone in the fourth and times one of Wyatt's pitches just right for a home run. Boyer is one of the league's established stars and having another tremendous year for the Redbirds. His blast makes it 2-1 in favor of the Nationals after 4 complete innings. The Phillies' Jim Bunning, who retired 27 Mets in a row on June 21st for a perfect no-hitter, strikes out Elston Howard in the 5th. After Norm Seaburn skies out, Bunning gets Jim Fregosi on a called third strike, and the Nationals hold the lead 2-1. As it stands now, Bunning could be the winning pitcher. Chris Short, another Philly pitcher, is called on to protect that one-run lead in the 6th, but Mickey Mantle greets him with a base hit to center. Short hurt his side in a series at San Francisco and is not at his best. Harmon Killebrew of the Twins doesn't help him feel any better as the American League's home run leader collects his 3rd straight hit. Short gets Bob Allison to sky out, but Brooks Robinson of the Orioles strikes a damaging blow that Willie Mays can't quite reach. The ball rolls clean to the wall where Johnny Callison retrieves it. By the time he can relay the ball to Ron Hunt, Robinson is safely in at 3rd with a triple, and both Killebrew and Mantle have scored. It's tied at 3 apiece as Dick Farrell of the Houston Colts pitches to Elston Howard in the 7th. Howard is hit by the pitch and moves on to first base, representing the go-ahead run. Rocky Colavito of the Kansas City A's pinch hits in the 7th and comes through with a double. Rocky replaced Al Kaline on the American League roster when Kaline was forced out due to an injury. With 2 on, nobody out, Jim Fregosi hits a fly ball to Willie Mays. Howard tags up, Willie throws, but it's not in time. Howard scores and the American League goes ahead 4-3. Dick Raditz is the premier relief pitcher of the Boston Red Sox. He mows the National Leaguers down like blades of grass until the 9th inning when Willie Mays walks. Raditz, known as the Monster, fires one past Orlando Cepeda, while Mays, playing the kind of daring game only he can, steals second. Cepeda gets a piece of the ball and loops a hit into right field. It's Orlando's first safety in All-Star competition and couldn't have come at a better time. Mays stops at 3rd, but when Joe Pepitone's throw to the plate skips past Elston Howard, Mays slides home with a tying run. Every year, Willie comes up with a new and exciting act in the All-Star game. Dick Raditz refuses to become rattled. Raditz forces Ken Boyer to pop up to 3rd baseman Brooks Robinson. After Johnny Edwards is intentionally walked, Hank Aaron strikes out. With 2 on and 2 out. The Phillies' Johnny Callison strikes like a bolt of lightning. He hits the first pitch thrown by Raditz into the right field stands for the game-winning home run. And he borrows one of Billy Williams' bats to do it. Callison's ability to get around on the pitch with lighter lumber enables the National League to win a 7-4 decision over the junior circuit, and the happy National League fans file out of Shea Stadium, having seen one of baseball's most sensational shows, the 1964 All-Star Game.
The National League leading Philadelphia Phillies and their number 1 nemesis, the St. Louis Cardinals, tie up in one of the most unusual baseball games ever. Whenever these two clubs clash, you can usually count on a tremendous offensive show. Over the past few weeks, Johnny Callison has been one of the most torrid hitters in the league. He's been winning the close one for the Phillies with timely blasts. Rookie of the Year candidate Richie Allen continues to hit above the 300 mark, but it's been the fine all-around play of Cookie Rojas that has kept the Phillies on top in the league standings. Cookie plays anywhere. Manager Gene Mock needs him. Speaking of needs, Mock, in search of a healthy first baseman, has inserted Costin Shockley into his lineup. Unfortunately, Shockley was a left-handed power hitter at Little Rock, and manager Mock is desperate for a right-handed slugger now that Roy Sievers is gone. When Danny Cater broke his wrist, the Phillies summoned right-hander Alex Johnson, who was batting .319 with 21 homers at Little Rock. No doubt rookie Johnson is studying the Cardinals' Ken Boyer very carefully. Boyer is one of baseball's finest hitters and can be counted on to supply plenty of Redbird power. However, Curt Simmons is the guy the Phillies are worried about the most. Southpaw Simmons owns a 14-2 record over the Phillies since the Phils gave him his outright release. We pick up the action with the Phillies batting in the 4th inning of a scoreless game. With 1 out, Curt Simmons gives up a hit to Richie Allen. Alex Johnson gets his 2nd consecutive hit, and this rookie looks as if he may be just what the doctor ordered. With 2 on and 2 out, Gus Triandos comes through with a double off the wall. Allen rides home with the game's first run, and Alex Johnson follows with a second. It's 2-0 Phillies as the Cardinals come to bat in the 5th. St. Louis bounces back against Dennis Bennett, who hasn't completed a game in weeks. Curt Flood singles with Bob Uecker on base. Julian Javier follows with a walk, loading the bases. Ken Boyer caps off the threat with a bases-loaded home run. It's Ken's 14th homer of the season and 7th grand slam of his career. The Cards take a 4-2 lead in the 5th and strike again in the 7th. Ken Boyer plays no favorites as he connects off Ed Roebuck, the Phillies sinker ball specialist, in the 7th. It's Boyer's 15th homer and 2nd of the day. Philadelphia's usually reliable relief pitchers are finding the Cards tough to handle. St. Louis later adds 4 more and leads by a comfortable 10-2 score as the Phillies bat in the last half of the 9th. Gus Triandos opens with a single, but the Phillies are still 8 runs down. After 2 walks and a hit, Johnny Callison comes through with his 3rd straight safety, and Bobby Wine scores. It's 10-3 as the Phillies try to make a Murrowell finish. Simmons proceeds to load the bases, then a free pass to Tony Gonzalez forces in another run. After pitching beautifully for 8 innings, Curt Simmons is forced to retire in the 9th. Alex Johnson keeps the 9th inning uprising alive with his 3rd hit. 2 more runs cross the plate, and the tying runs are on the bases with Johnny Hernstein batting. Hernstein sends a long fly to center field that scores Richie Allen with the 7th run of the inning. Alex Johnson is nailed, trying to go to 2nd. It's 10-9 with 2 down as Gus Triandos, representing the tying run, pops the ball high over the infield to Julian Javier. The Phillies fall 1 run short of making their greatest comeback of the season and are fast finding themselves vulnerable to a steady diet of left-handed pitchers. For the second time in as many weeks, the American League leading Baltimore Orioles are involved in a showdown series with the second-place Chicago White Sox. Manager Hank Bauer hopes things go as well at home as they did in Chicago, where the Orioles took 3 out of 4 from the Pale Hose. Wally Bunker has been a godsend to the Baltimore pitching staff. The rookie right-hander will be gunning for his 14th victory today. Gary Peters is Bunker's mount opponent for the opening game. Peters, 1963's American League Rookie of the Year, is after his 15th win. Third baseman Pete Ward has begun to connect when it counts. Failure to hit with men on base has been a Chicago sore spot. Phil Skowron, obtained from Washington, is on a hitting spree, an indication that the Moose is happy to be with a contender again. Leading the Chicago hitting parade is outfielder Floyd Robinson. Robbie's sporting a .297 average as the crucial series gets underway in Baltimore. In the home half of the first inning, Luis Aparicio singles to left against his former teammates. Louis, who can fly, tries to stretch it for 2, but Tom McCraw gets the ball to Don Buford in time to nail the Orioles speedster. Southpaw Gary Peters gets tagged again in the second frame as Brooks Robinson leads off with a single through the box. Peters, who holds 2 decisions over the Orioles this year, gives up ball 4 to rookie Sam Bowens, and Baltimore is threatening to crack the scoreless deadlock. The Sox are expecting Earl Robinson to bunt, and they're not disappointed. Peters goes to third to nip the lead runner, Brooks Robinson. Now with 2 on and 1 away, Peters pitches to Dick Brown. Don Buford gloves the liner and steps on the bag for a double play to end the inning. The scoreless pitching duel lasts until the bottom of the 5th inning. That's when Baltimore's Earl Robinson dumps a home run into the left field pavilion. Of the 3 leading pennant contenders, Baltimore, Chicago, and New York, the Orioles have been swinging the lustiest home run bats. Earl Robinson's timely swat puts Baltimore on top 1-0. Wally Bunker, pitching a masterful shutout, surrenders a 1-bagger to former Oriole Ronnie Hansen in the 8th. That's only the second hit off Bunker, and it brings up J.C. Martin. Bunker forces Martin to hit into the dirt, and the Orioles' smooth-working double play combination takes care of the rest. The White Sox come to bat in the 9th, still trailing Baltimore 1-0. Leadoff batter Gene Stevens appears to be an easy out until first baseman Norm Seaburn commits an error that may prove costly. Bunker, obviously nettled by the miscue, issues a walk to the next batter, Jim Landis. Sacrifice bunt by Don Buford works to perfection as the Orioles elect to try for the runner sliding into third and miss. All hands are safe. The scrappy Sox ruin a fine pitching performance by young Wally Bunker as Floyd Robinson rips a clutch single to center. 2 runs pour across, and that's all the White Sox need to rout Baltimore in this opener. But the Orioles bounce back to split the series with Chicago and head into September, still perched on top of the American League bandwagon.
The slumping San Francisco Giants make their last visit to Connie Mack Stadium this season for another crucial series with the league-leading Phillies. The Giants need to sweep this 3-game set to keep alive their pennant hopes. Al Dark's forces have been plagued by injuries to key men along the way, but the Giants are a team that has a history for coming on strong at the finish despite physical handicaps. Willie Mays, exhausted and nursing a bad back, continues to play. He leads the league in home runs, and it's no secret the Giants can't make it without him. On the Phillies side of the picture, Richie Allen appears destined for Rookie of the Year honors. He and the other Phillies show no signs of letting up, despite a 6-game bulge. Frank Thomas, the long sought-after right-handed hitter the Phillies have been dreaming about, has been living up to all expectations. The Giants' Juan Marichal goes after his 17th win of the season as the Phillies bat in the second with more than 21,000 looking on. Tony Gonzalez connects off a Marichal in the second inning. It's only the 4th home run of the season for Tony, and it gives the Phillies an early 1-0 lead. Gonzalez, who was beaned earlier in the year and a few times throughout his career, never became gun-shy as he continues to hang in there and take his cuts. Chris Short is the Phillies pitcher as the Giants bat in the 3rd inning. Del Crandall rides one of Short's offerings high and deep to left center. By the time the ball is retrieved, Crandall moves safely into 3rd with a triple. Short can't get the ball by Harvey Keene, who also connects. Keene's drive lands in the stands and gives the Giants a 2-1 lead. Short, whose previous record against the Giants was only 1 win against 5 losses, is forced to the showers. He's replaced by newcomer Bobby Locke, who does a fine bit of relief work, except for one bad pitch to Orlando Cepeda in the 4th. Cepeda makes his 27th round-trip tour of the bases, and the Giants are on top 3-1 as the Phillies come to bat in the bottom of the 6th. Juan Marichal sails along smoothly until Johnny Callison connects. For Callison, it's his 25th round tripper, and the Phillies are right back in the ball game, now trailing 3-2. The Phillies have tremendous depth and power from both sides of the plate, now that Callison, Covington, Gonzalez, Allen, Triandos, and Thomas are in the same lineup. After Richie Allen walks in the same inning, Wes Covington only gets a piece of the ball and lifts a fly to right field. When rookie Jim Ray Hart stumbles, the ball drops for a 2-bagger, and Allen comes around to score. It's a new game at 3 apiece. However, the Giants counter with a run of their own on some fancy base running by Willie Mays and a Philly throwing error. It's the 9th inning as Covington bats. He hits the ball wide of first base, but Marichal runs over and Covington is out. The Phils are down by 4-3 as Marichal strikes out Tony Gonzalez, and now it's up to hard-hitting Frank Thomas. But Thomas doesn't come through this time as he hits a dribbler back to the box, and Marichal runs over to retire Frank and the Phillies. The Giants win this close one 4-3, but lose the series at Philadelphia 2-1. It's all over but the shouting as the Giants appear to have left their pennant hopes back in San Francisco. With the series all even at 2 games apiece, the Cardinals and Yankees resume play at Yankee Stadium for the 5th game of the 1964 World Series. Rookie Mel Stottlemyre is Yogi Berra's choice for the mound assignment, while Johnny Keene counters with his ace, Bob Gibson. In the 5th inning, Bob Gibson singles to left field. It's only the 2nd Cardinal hit off Stottlemyre in this scoreless game. Curt Flood grounds a double play ball at Bobby Richardson, but Bobby can't find the handle and both runners are safe. Lou Brock comes through for the Cardinal cause as he sends a solid smash to right field, scoring Bob Gibson from second. Now St. Louis has runners at the corners with only 1 out. Bill White has been having his troubles with the bat, but he manages to score Flood on this infield out. White reaches first on the infielder's choice when Linz can't double up Phil at first base. The 2nd run is in for St. Louis, and the Cards lead 2-0 after 5. Bob Gibson handcuffs the Yanks until the 9th, when Mickey Mantle's attempt to hit to left goes for an error instead. Dick Grote can't make the play, and Mantle legs it out. Joe Pepitone smacks one off Bob Gibson's hip, but the Cardinal pitcher makes a quick recovery and throws Pepitone out. This turns out to be a vital play for the Redbirds. Tom Tresh is the next batter. He tees off on a Gibson fastball and sends it like a thunderbolt into the right field bleachers for a home run. Had Pepitone been on base, the Yankees would have gone ahead 3-2. But Tresh's 2nd homer of the series, with only Mantle aboard, allows New York a tie in the 9th at 2-2. Game goes into extra innings as Ken Boyer beats out a bunt for the Cardinals in the 10th. Bill White, who walked, moves to second as St. Louis threatens. With Pete Mickelson pitching, Yankee catcher Elston Howard picks White off second base, but Bill races to third and dives in safely to break up the play. Tim McCarver has been murder against Yankee pitching. The Cardinals' star catcher laces into Mickelson's delivery and sends it into the land of no return. It's a 3-run homer and spells victory for the Cardinals, who win 5-2. The victory enables the Cards to take a 3-2 lead in the series, and now it's meet me in St. Louis for game number 6. The Cardinals return to St. Louis and Busch Stadium for what could be the final game of the series. The Cardinals' Tim McCarver and Yankee starting pitcher Jim Bouton renew the series before game time. McCarver won the 5th game for the St. Louis Cards with his 3-run homer in the 10th. Yankees' Roger Maris on your left with Mickey Mantle and Joe Pepitone represent home run threats that Curt Simmons will try to offset in Game 6 with his crafty pitching. Jim Bouton is on the mound as the Cards bat in the 1st inning. Curt Flood starts it off with a base hit to left. Lou Brock picks out a pitch he likes and singles to center, moving Flood over to third. The Cards are holding the upper hand early. With a chance to break the game wide open, Bill White grounds into a double play. But Flood scores and St. Louis leads 1-0 in the 1st. The Yankees tie it in the 5th. Then Roger Maris starts the Bronx Bombers exploding in the 6th. He plants the wood to a Curt Simmons pitch and rides it out for a home run. The Yankees know they must win this game or there's no tomorrow. Mickey Mantle is the next batter, and anything Maris can do, he can do better. Mantle connects, and there it goes. The Yankees' switch hitter is a terror, batting right-handed, and his homer gives New York a 3-1 lead in the 6th. Joe Pepitone comes to bat in the 8th with the bases loaded. He puts the game out of reach with a grand slam home run as the Yankees score 5 runs in the 8th, go on to post a decisive 8-3 decision over the St. Louis Cardinals. It comes down to the wire with the Yankees and Cardinals tied at 3 games apiece in the 1964 World Series. And we'll be back a little later with a deciding game.
The 1964 World Series was billed as Yankee power against St. Louis speed, but through the first 6 games, it was more like Yankee power versus great St. Louis pitching. But as Cardinal Bob Gibson faces rookie ace Mel Stottlemyre in the crucial 7th game, St. Louis speed begins to show. It's a scoreless game until the Cardinal 4th when Ken Boyer leads off with a base hit up the middle. Grote walks and Tim McCarver hits into a made-to-order double play, but the return throw from Linz to Pepitone is offline and Ken Boyer races home with the first run of the game. St. Louis leads, raising the St. Louis 5th, making it 4-0. The Cards scored 2 more in the same as the Yanks bat in the 6th. Bobby Richardson opens the 6th by beating out a chopper down the 3rd baseline. It's Bobby's 12th hit of the series to tie a record in that department. After Maris singles, Mickey Mantle goes to left field with Gibson's fastball and smashes a 3-run homer into the bleachers more than 380 feet away. Richardson and Maris' fourth valuable player for 1964 comes in with a 7th Cardinal run for a 7-3 lead. That's good until the 9th. Yankee power explodes as Clete Boyer homers and Gibson gives up another to Phil Linz. It's 7-5 with Richardson up and Maris on deck. Johnny Keane sticks with Bob Gibson. With 2 out, Gibson can't let Richardson get on base. Bobby hits a pop-up in the infield. Al Maxfield calls for the ball, makes the catch, and St. Louis wins the 1964 World Series. Yankee power came too little, too late, as the 7-5 victory makes St. Louis the baseball champions of the world. This was the year of the St. Louis Cardinals. After being declared out of it, the Cards battled their way into the 1964 National League Championship with a heart-stopping stretch run. Then they parlayed pitching, power, speed, and desire into a 7-game series victory over the Yankees. This home run by Tim McCarver was a key blow in that series. McCarver was in the thick of a lot of the action. He's on third in the 7th game of the series and shows his speed as the Yanks try to double him at the plate. Dal Maxfield comes through with a timely hit, and Cardinal speed pays off again as Shannon dares the throw to streak home for another key run in St. Louis's 7th game victory over New York. With just 48 hours left in the regular season, 7 teams still had a chance to make it into the series. The Cardinals emerged from the National League scramble and clawed their way past the Yankees to become 1964's world champions of baseball. Brooks Robinson broke a 4-year Yankees stronghold on the American League's Most Valuable Player award. Robinson, Orioles star third baseman, batted .317, led the league in RBIs with 118, and belted 28 home runs, like this one to keep Baltimore in contention for the American League title right down to the wire. That's Kenny Boyer, 1964's National League Most Valuable Player, making it safely to home plate as St. Louis beat the Yanks in the series. Ken batted .295, led the National League in RBIs, and hit 24 homers. The Cardinal captain went on to become the big star of the series, winning 1 game with a grand slam homer, making 1 key fielding play after another. Boyer was also named Player of the Year by the Sporting News.
President Johnson opened the baseball season in traditional fashion. But from that point on, it was a tradition-shattering year on the diamond. New York's brand new Shea Stadium was the scene of the year's oddest sports enigma. The last place Mets, with its new breed of fans, hit the first division in attendance. What hath Casey Stengel wrought?
The Yanks became a TV network property in 1964, and here in New York clinched the American League pennant on next to the last day of the season.
Yogi Berra, serving his first year as manager, had a close call but came through in the end. And you wouldn't believe it, but the Wild National League went down to the wire. The lowly Mets in St. Louis here determined the outcome of the senior circuit flag chase, and of course by losing to the Cardinals. What else? To the last day, the 100-game losers were in the thick of the pennant fight, in a manner of speaking. It was a cliffhanger. In Cincinnati, if the Phillies hadn't gone on this particular scoring binge that ended in a 10-0 slaughter, there could have been a 2-way tie. This would have happened if the Redlegs matched the Cardinal win. But if the Cardinals lost to the Mets and the Phillies won, there could have been a 3-way tie. The Phillies, who led the league most of the year, could have won it easily. But they went into an horrendous losing streak in the final days. But it all ended very simply when the Cards beat the Mets and the Reds lost. Spirits bubbled and glowed in the Cardinal locker room. Now bring on those Yanks. On managers Berra and Johnny Keane, the Fates went to work with a vengeance. Behind the color and the crowds of the World Series, machinations worthy of Machiavelli were in progress. Cardinal rookie Mike Shannon's tying home run was the highlight of the first game. St. Louis fans, with their Cardinals leading 6-4, welcomed the final Yankee out as a happy omen. The teams squared off in New York with the series tied at 1 apiece. And then in the bottom of the 9th inning, Mickey Mantle's home run broke up the ball game. It was tied 1-1 at that point. But it was more than a mere game winner. It was Mick's 16th World Series homer and broke the record he had shared with Babe Ruth. Cardinal third baseman Ken Boyer's grand slammer fractured the fourth game at Yankee Stadium. Only the 9th time that that's happened in series annals. It also gave the Cards a 4-3 victory and again evened the series. Tim McCarver's 3-run homer in the 10th inning gave the Cardinals the 5th game 5-2, and they took a 3-2 series lead back to St. Louis. In the final game, Card pitcher Bob Gibson set a new series record for strikeouts. Lou Brock's homer started a Cardinal rally that gave them a lead they never relinquished. Yank Bobby Richardson popped out for the last out, and the Cards took the game and the series. Enthusiasm soared to a new high. The Cards had humbled the mighty Yanks. Manager Johnny Keane guided the Cards to victory, but had some puzzling problems, and the same can be said for Berra. Then it was the public's turn for puzzlement. In the maddest of managerial shuffles, Yogi was fired. Keane resigned only to end up as Yank pilot. But cellar dweller Stengel had no complications. He was re-signed, and then came the news that the Mets had hired Yogi, who got a hefty severance check from the Yanks. There was another baseball celebration for those Little Leaguers from Staten Island who won their World Series at Williamsport, Pennsylvania, beating a Mexican team for a truly international baseball victory. Congratulations from Mayor Wagner, capped the ticker tape parade as New York hailed its heroes and forgot its Mets and Yanks.
Tele Sports was presented by the United States Army, the big team that helps you build your own future while you serve your country. Join the new Action Army now.